Good evening. We'll call the meeting, February meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Thank you very much for those of you in the audience, a large crowd. This is one of our larger crowds out there tonight. On your left, my right, the stairway that leads up to the rear parking lot. In the event of an emergency, if for some reason that was not passable, straight down the hallway will put you out by the firehouse, or up the stairs behind the wall with the clock on it through the double doors will put you out in front of the town hall. With that said, thank you. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Just so you people all know, we decided to do casual February. Mitch didn't get the memo.
Valentine's Day tie on and everything.
But John said, I'm not wearing a tie tonight. I said, okay. I said, PJ's coming in a sweatshirt. I said, okay. Judy came, she's wearing a hat tonight, so we said, okay. So we're all here, and then Attorney Marino comes in and,
I heard the meeting was going to be over by now.
It would have if you didn't interrupt us.
okay. Public participation. Public participation is for any item that is not an agenda item, and we allow 2 minutes per speaker. Anybody for public participation? Seeing none. Then we'll move it to announcements. Mitch?
May 3rd is our shredding day. I'll give more details as we get closer, but mark your calendars, May 3rd, Saturday, May 3rd, shredding day. For those who are interested in the drug take-back, though, that'll be the week before April 28th with the police department's help and the groups that help with that. Thanks.
Anybody else with announcements? Seeing none, we just have a couple tonight. First off, we lost another one of our stalwarts of the community, Ray McClellan. Great lady. She used to sing the national anthem at some of our events. She's deep with the garden club. She's up at the senior center and all, and unfortunately, we lost Ray a couple weeks ago. Was a wonderful lady, always willing to jump in and do something. Always had more energy than a can of Springs, I'll tell you that. So we're saddened by that. Monday, February 17th, all town offices will be closed in observance of President's Day. However, the transfer station will remain open. We have a message from Jack Demersian, because there's people who have, a lot of people have asked about this and called in on this and all. Jack is our zoning enforcement officer, and at the January 21st Town Planning and Zoning meeting, the board voted on a 6-month temporary moratorium on smoke shops, tobacco stores, and vape shops while the regulations are reviewed. On March 4th, there will be a public hearing on how these regulations will be amended. The public is encouraged to attend and give their opinion if these shops should continue as is, be prohibited, or need a special permit in the future. But that's something that's very important, and being that we have somebody from the nursery school here, I'd appreciate it if you make sure that that's well known there. We've had a lot of parents especially have called because it seems like the guidelines, they're kind of lax at a lot of these shops. The younger age people walk in, get what their wares, and walk back out. So that was a good thing. Also, we finished our first year, believe it or not, already, as we go from one topic to the other. The cannabis store at the former TD Bank building at the corner of Lindy Street and the Boston Post Road there. And the town received, by the way the legislature set up that action, we get 3% of the tax that they collect on their gross number, which was over $8 million. The town of Orange, in the first 12 months, received approximately $245,000 in, I'll call it unplanned revenue, because it's really, you don't know how much you're going to get. It has guidelines on it as to what it can be used for. Yeah, there's a possibility there, for certain things, believe it or not. But yeah, we've had zero problems with that facility also. While it does affect the moral fabric of the community and many within the community that, did not have good feelings about it, and we understand completely, but there is an upside to it that, almost $250,000 for putting up with it, so that wasn't too bad. But this money can be used for things like paying for the dare officer, the drug dogs, the drug car. There's some other social stuff that can be used with it. They can use it, but actually they have too much money of their own at community services for drug and alcohol interaction, and there are some other uses for this also. So it's interesting, when we called up there to find out, well, what can you actually use this money for? They can't really tell you. That's the best part of it. But anyhow, so I wanted everybody to know we did that, and it's quite a little bit of money for our inconvenience and all with that. Okay, that's all I have for that. Oh, sorry. Brooks Brothers, having a sale, John,
Excellent.
just so you know.
There's all cash.
We're gonna go get a tie.
Yeah. Minutes, to consider and act upon the minutes of the January 7th, 2025 special meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Are there any errors, omissions, or corrections? If so, state page and paragraph. If not, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One abstention. All right. To consider and act upon the minutes of the January 8th regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Any errors, omissions, or corrections, please state page and paragraph. If there are none, is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Item number 1. Now we know why Lawrence is here. To consider and act on request from the Lions Club to use the field at High Plains Community Center, also known as the Fairgrounds, for the annual Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 12th, with a rain date of Saturday, April 19th. And if the gym at High Plains Community Center is needed on the rain date, to waive the rental fees for use of the gym within the community center.
Thank you, Mr. Zioli, and members of the Board of Selectmen. I appreciate you having me speak this evening. So this is going to be our 62nd year of our Easter egg hunt. And we're looking forward to it. It's a great time for all the children. I just ordered the 10,000 eggs, and
Lindor
It's,
truffle?
Thank goodness not real eggs.
yeah, I know. No,
Good point.
Yeah. Or I could take the eggs that these gentlemen stole 100,000 eggs from some farm somewhere.
Yeah, down in Pennsylvania.
I don't know. What do you do? Go on a street corner and sell eggs? I mean, but anyway.
Just about could.
Yeah, so it's a fun time. We're looking forward to it. We give out toys. We have the Easter Bunny coming in a police car. It's a blast. You're all welcome to come if you have the day free, but we would appreciate it if you could extend that courtesy for the use of the field and the gymnasium if both days rained out. So,
Second.
thank you very
Motion's
much for
made
your
and
time.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Do you need
Opposed?
a paper copy for?
No, Ian will take care of it.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lawrence. And the Lions Club.
Number 2, now we know why Bob Sigler's here. To consider and act on request to hang a banner to promote the Strawberry Festival to being held June 14th, 2025, and to waive the customary rental fees for the use of the High Plains Community Kitchen. Mr. Sigler,
Yes, thank you very much.
sell your show.
And thank you, Board of Selectmen, First Selectman. Yes, we're not quite as tenured as the Lions Easter egg, but this is our 17th. Congregational Church Strawberry Festival. As I mentioned, June 14th, rain date of June 15th at the High Plains Fairgrounds. As always, we'll have our church-made strawberry jams, the strawberry pies, and all the strawberry treats you can think of. Chips, pancakes in the morning, and the fair-style food for the rest of the day, along with the strawberry treats till about 5. Free admission for all to come. We'll have, generally have over 60 craft vendors, our unique red car show, and live music for kids, kids entertainment with prizes, and a pie eating contest. So should be great fun for all. And we could have our banner hung over the High Plains Center there.
All right, so you will be hung over on June 14th.
Hung over on the 15th, or maybe 16th.
Couple weeks
Second.
before. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Bob, do you have a rain date?
Sunday, the 15th.
Oh, you do have a
Yep.
15th, okay.
Hopefully, we're not going to need it.
No, it'll be beautiful weather.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Please come.
It is fun, it is fun.
Update on the Orange Community School Playground expansion. Lisa Grande is here tonight.
Just came in.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's two. No? Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you were a teacher, you'd know.
Oh, boy. Judy, you're allowed to hit him, you know. He's a hockey player.
He won't feel it. He's wearing that bulky sweatshirt. I got this one. Okay, Lisa.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here this evening. So my name is Lisa Grandy, and I'm a parent volunteer representing Orange Community Nursery School. So I'm not a preschool teacher. But this evening I'm sharing a timeline review of the efforts that I've put in as a parent and a community volunteer to improve the playground space and the structure at the High Plains Community Center on Orange Center Road. So the original structure was removed in September 2023 for significant wear and tear and irreparable damage, and we are very grateful for the structure that was put up in April of 2024. It is slightly smaller, and it's not as familiar of the landmark that was there to a lot of the families at the community center. So my first conversation with First Selectman Zioli on May 2nd, he said that unfortunately at that time there was no additional structure that could be put back up, but he said that we could fundraise. So I've been fundraising. I created a GoFundMe page for families and friends, and I began applying for local and state grants specific to playground structures. And I started requesting financial donations from local businesses as well as some of the big box stores. I also began to research and communicate with playground structure vendors. So in the late fall of 2024, Ben Schaefer Recreation was selected as the vendor, and he began plans for a structure, and they've been refined to fit the space as well as our budget. So certain corporate grants became available again in the beginning months of 2025, so I continued to apply for them, and I'm still fundraising. So with respects to the funds raised to date, I have cash in hand of $23,756.
That's awesome.
Thanks. And I also have commitments of approximately $7,000 to come in the next month. As you can see, and as I'm sure you know, the structures are extremely expensive.
Crazy expensive.
Yes, it's quite a sticker shock, I have to tell you, for
Me too.
a slide. So the estimated cost with what you're looking at today, including delivery, materials, and installation, is around $42,000. So the schematic shows that the new structure would be installed in an open area complying with all the required regulations in the current space. Given the support demonstrated by the community thus far, we are confident that this is a worthwhile cause for the town. I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening and to provide the board with an update on the project, but I'm also to ask for your consideration in helping bridge our remaining funding gap. We would like to ask for $10,000 from the town to help complete this project. With the town's financial support, if available, we feel this will greatly improve the community space that is utilized daily by the preschool students of OCNS and the families during after-school hours and weekends, as well as all those that attend many of the community-wide festivals held at the community center and the fairgrounds. I would also ask that you please advise me on the next steps for delivery and installation once the structure is able to be purchased. So thank you for your time and consideration of the request in order to help improve our Orange community space, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
So you've raised how much?
I've raised $23,756, but I have $7,000 at least coming in. It's probably closer to 10. So that would be $33,000.
Very good. Okay, and how much is the project? What do you need?
So this project is $42,000. They're aware that obviously if we can't afford that, we are going to scale it back to fit the budget that I
And
have.
this is all you're getting? This is it? We're looking at it, right?
You're looking at it.
That, which is fine. I
Yep.
don't mean that
Nope.
in any
No,
sort of
I
a
get it.
belittling
Trust
manner,
me.
because I know it's a tight spot to
Yes,
fit in.
and this
So you-
fits all the
So you
8
have
feet, 6 feet.
33, and you
Yes.
need 42.
Yes.
Okay. This is in a town facility, in a town location. It's used by the summer camp as well as outsiders in the off hours of the nursery school.
Yes.
And Mr. Cifarelli is watching from home, I'm sure. Why don't we consider making the difference that they need from that cannabis fund that I just told you about? It's an allowable use.
That's a no-brainer.
So you can recommend the appropriation, we have to send it to the Board of Finance. Recommend the appropriation of 9,000? 10,000?
10,000. Difference.
Well, she has money coming in.
I
so she's-
do.
There
I
might
do.
be, it might come in, maybe some won't. You don't count your chicken before you can find the eggs in the grocery store. So, but we can do that, because I told you what is now in that account.
Just to clarify, Jim, you're saying that the state is saying that the cannabis funds can be used for children's
For
playground,
for
recreation?
and healthy,
Lifestyle.
lifestyle, thank you,
Okay.
yes. So that's an appropriate use.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'd make a motion that we approve up to $10,000. I'll make it up to, just in case there's less than there. Up to $10,000 of the cannabis funds to
Complete
help
the project.
the Orange Community Nursery School complete a project for a new slide to be located at High Plains Community Center.
Have a quick question?
We have to recommend it to the Board of Finance.
Oh, okay.
yes.
What I just said, recommended to the Board
Yes.
of Finance.
I have a quick question.
Yes?
Is that 42,000, is that inclusive of the wood chips and the border and everything?
She has other
So
connections
it's-
for the wood chips. We're not helping with that.
Okay.
Yes, it does. It does include that.
So
Yes.
it's complete.
Yes,
Her
this
husband
would
will
be,
go begging.
Okay. All right.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So,
Second?
motion's made, seconds made.
Actually, I do have a quick question,
I
Lisa, if
do.
I may. So,
Discussion.
looking at the map that you have,
Yeah.
so is this, and Bill's question, you made me think of this. So are we inside the existing border? Or is the
Correct.
border?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Yes.
not being extended at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Because when the community nursery school put in the other playscape areas, about a year or so ago, I thought there was no room because of setbacks
They
and.
couldn't put another big one in
Okay,
because of the setback from the swing
right,
fall zone and the
right.
slide crash zone and all.
But this will fit
This
without,
fits within
okay.
that. It's,
Yes.
I think it's between the
Yes.
swing and the,
Yeah,
no,
There's
it's
the-
off on the far corner.
The
Okay.
fire truck
Yeah.
rocker thing, that's there, yeah.
okay.
Thanks,
How's
excellent.
that?
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
right.
Thank you
Yeah,
very,
we
very
are-
much.
Wait, we didn't vote yet.
All in
Thank you
all in
for hearing
favor?
me.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Well done.
Done. You're the first thing that some of that money is being used for.
That's amazing.
Yeah, your timing was
Thank
good.
you.
'Cause we just got the report, I just got it yesterday, then I put the paper down, and John was there, and I couldn't find the paper now. So, but, yeah, so we'll do it out of that, and, yeah, it's
Thank
an
you.
acceptable use.
Yes.
I've learned more about playground structures than I
It's
ever
a,
thought I ever would.
it's kind of daunting, isn't it?
It's very daunting.
Yeah.
It's very daunting, yeah, but I'm,
A lot of fun.
yeah.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Michael, that's another business that you can think about setting up. Your brothers will kill you. Okay. That is good. That's perfect timing. I'm glad for that. That's perfect timing. Surprised my phone's not lighting up.
Yeah.
Item number 4, to consider and act on the OGAT bylaws. At their March meeting, they talked about this, approved it, policies and procedures. I don't know, is one or both of you, I don't know who's speaking to this. Now I know why he was in the chair next to me getting his hair cut on Friday.
Look good for TV. For OGAT.
Yeah, Rogat. Michael?
Michael Muddett, member of the OGAT Commission. So yes, as Jim said, we've been going through and kind of updating all of our documentation. Since we were formed in 1998, we've always had policies and procedures. Those primarily focus around the station's operations and what goes on the air, what meetings we tape and everything like that. We've never officially had bylaws, but thankful we have a bunch of new members, and we decided to kind of document what we've been doing for bylaws as our commission anyway. So we looked at the town's, different commissions, bylaws, Town Planning and Zoning, Conservation Commission, Orange Board of Ed, Amity Board of Ed, and a little bit of ChatGPT, and generated the document in front of you. So it's really just documenting what we're already doing. And I think the only other thing it adds is a vice chairman, just to be able to continue our meetings if the chairman cannot make it. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but that's really what it's about.
Okay, and now I understand. I was reading it with the wrong one. You put it over here. I was on that one. Okay, now I knew. I couldn't figure out why it didn't line up what I was reading at all. I think there were, since some of the committee members are the originals, I think there were verbal
Yeah.
guidelines there that Marlene and Saul probably knew, and
Yep.
Ron, because they just lived with it.
Yep.
But as that changed and membership changed, it kind of flexed and moved a little.
Yep.
So as long as the membership is comfortable with this and all of that commission as it stands, and it causes no hardships to the existing operation or changes to the existing operation, I would look for a motion to do this. Yes, Mitchell?
Make a motion to approve with one small,
Question.
well, it's a question, but one small potential change. On the last page, page 3 of 3, the second paragraph says, an emergency meeting may be held without complying with the preceding notice requirements. If I'm not mistaken, the FOI laws already call out what you need to or don't need to do for an emergency meeting, and I would think that you would want to put an emergency meeting may be held in compliance with Connecticut General Statutes. Vinnie, can you help me with that?
Yeah, all meetings need to be held in compliance with FOIA.
Right.
So, and there is no good reason for an emergency meeting, according to FOIA,
Okay.
unless the nuclear bombs are falling.
And then everything's adjourned.
That would be for sure.
So,
Definitely OGAT will be.
so therefore, Vinnie, in your opinion, should that paragraph just be removed and just keep the special meetings with a 24-hour notice, or?
Well, I would just say all meetings, all meetings are to be in compliance with FOIA. So, again, I guess sorry, microphone, Yes, I know, he was pointing.
He's executed it up.
That policy and procedure was not being complied with. There could be an event like a tornado comes through town or something like that, and the station goes down and they have to meet. So I guess there could be an imaginal emergency, but it should be in compliance with FOIA. So if you want to just simply.
What I would do there, my thought, if it were something that were of an emergency nature, if it were gonna be Storm Sandy when we had leaves on the trees in the snowstorm that flattened power everywhere, or as you just said, some sort of another storm or weather event, they have the ability to run a ribbon or make an announcement just through the
Yeah,
the
the
system.
coordinator can run that through
They
through
could
our
do that
policies.
in the
Yeah.
event of an emergency. So what I would do is, I would change that to then something like, at the discretion of in the event of an emergency, at the discretion of the coordinator. And he could call the chairman, or, they could have it wouldn't be an actual meeting, but they would, confirm it by way of phone or some means of communication to cover that, so that it would happen, yet it wouldn't violate FOIA regulation that way. That work?
Well,
I'm good with it.
I think it would have to be the chairman, right? The
I would
the
th- I would-
coordinator doesn't really sit on our,
Well, no, but the coordinator
can request
would-
one.
would have to, that would be the person in contact with the chair or vice chair.
Yeah.
Because you need the coordinator to put in whatever the data may be
Yep.
for that situation. So I would just change that to some sort of a verbiage that works better along that line. Mitch, is that kind of,
Yeah, it's fine,
Solve the problem.
that's probably fine. I don't foresee it being the coordinator, because the coordinator can go on, I'm sure they given, the commission's given the coordinator the ability to make changes on the actual screen at any time.
100%.
It's just, having a meeting of the actual committee. And the reason I'm particularly looking at this is because I think what OGAT has done is excellent overall, and I think it could be a good template for a lot of other committees, actually. But, so I just don't want to have others start copying something that might be in violation, as Vinnie's already pointed out, of FOIA. That's the only
Yeah.
concern I have, that's all.
Again, as long as it's, all meetings in compliance with FOIA, you don't have to say anything more than that, quite frankly. Because then you just look to the statutes for what it says. So, but I'm good with either
Yeah.
direction.
Is that something that may be
I mean,
acceptable?
yeah, just add to the end of the sentence, in compliance with FOIA.
Yeah. Okay. With that, with that change, and I'll leave it to the committee, or if they want to meet with Vinnie, just to make sure you get the wording correct, I would make a motion to approve the bylaws of the Orange Government Access Television Committee.
yeah, that'll work. Any other discussion on that?
Nope.
I think that'll work.
Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Great job.
Thank you
There
very
you
much.
go.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well done. Okay. Item 5 is to consider and act on the dates for the annual town meeting and budget referendum. The Board of Finance budget hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, at 7 PM at High Plains Community Center. The Board of Selectmen and annual town meeting, which is the receiving of the budget, it is not the budget hearing, is May 2025. The Selectmen meeting will be Wednesday, May 14th. It is suggested to hold the meeting in the gymnasium as we normally do. Selectmen's meeting at 7, annual town meeting at 7:30. The referendum must be held no less than 7, no more than 14 days after the town meeting. Suggested date for the referendum is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. at High Plains Community Center. The annual district public hearing on the Amity budget is Monday, April 7th, 2025. The Amity annual meeting is Monday, May 5th, 2025. And the Amity budget referendum is Tuesday, May 6th, 2025, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's very interesting because as they work through the budget, I've been talking with the other two first selectmen, there's $1.4 million change, as I recall, in debt service that Amity's paying off in the current fiscal year. But in their new budget, they didn't reduce the budget by that almost $1.5 million. They left that hole in the budget, plus the budget is increasing by another approximately $1.7 million on top of that. So it's rather significant. And I spoke with both the first selectmen of Woodbridge and Bethany. Now, Orange's increase this year is only because we've had the $1 million years too, is about approximately $72,000 as per proposed, but Woodbridge is looking at almost $1.5 million increase this year, on top of doing revaluation and already having a mill rate over 46 and a fraction. So they're kind of scrambling, so I know that Woodbridge especially is kind of questioning why that whole number was left in, and they're using that money now moving forward to pay other bills and salary. They said, well, we have salary increases, we have this, we have that, and so it's a challenge, for sure. I think that money should have been phased out, and then you build the budget forward, but it didn't happen. But people should pay attention to that, and for our friends in Woodbridge, they're really feeling, it's their turn to feel the impact. Just so everybody knows.
Jim, with that, I'll make a motion that we approve setting the annual town meeting for is it 7 PM we do it?
Yep. Yep.
7 p.
Selectmen,
Selectmen at 7, okay. I'm sorry, so the town meeting be set at 7:30 PM on
Yep.
Wednesday, May 14th at the High Plains Community Center gym. And the same motion, I guess, the referendum, the town budget referendum would be held on Wednesday, May 21st at the High Plains Community Center Gymnasium as well. 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yep.
Let me form a
Okay,
motion.
the motion is made. Is there a second? Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous. Item number 6, to consider an act on the request to approve tax refunds totaling $15,398.24. Anybody on that?
So, second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous. 2 committees for now. Pension Board, Mitchell.
Yeah, Pension Board meets, its quarterly meeting is this coming week on February 20th, so it's next week.
Okay. Fred Wolf Park.
The committee met last month, had a good discussion, as we always do. There will be the next meeting, February 27th, at High Plains Community Center. It's going to be one of our workshops, so it's going to be approximately a 2-hour meeting. So B&L will provide us with the data that they were able to obtain, and sort of give us that information so that we can move this forward. Lisa, we're going to pick your brain, because one of the concerns at the existing playground is they need a smaller swing set or something for the smaller kids, and so we're going to pick your brain on that one. But that's it. So February 27th, 6 o'clock, High Plains Community Center.
I don't know, I seen, 16-month-old in the swing a couple weeks ago down there swinging just fine, so, and he was hanging on and having a grand old time, so, I don't know.
Yeah.
They were doing it.
No, I think he was talking to you.
Okay. With that said, before these hooligans over here start again, is there any other business? I know that I was told that they're going to be starting to move along with that new travel center at the exit 41 coming from Milford headed towards New Haven. Shortly, they've come in for permits and stuff. They'll start work on that site there where that, it'll be gas, it'll be electric, it'll be electric cars, and it's going to be some concession, food convenience there and all that'll be interesting. Across the street at the end of Salemi Lane, the self-storage is just about complete over there. The Seven Brews Coffee Shop that came in, they went to ZBA. They're going to go at the corner of Bull Hill Lane and the Post Road where Nicoletti's Market was. Then it was more recently Subway. That's getting torn down, and the Seven Brews drive-through coffee and other drinks places going there. They do not do foods. They do not serve inside. It's strictly you order outside, and they have people who bring it to your car. So that's coming. Oh, yeah, Amazon Fresh. People keep asking about that. So we met with those representatives last week. It is absolutely dead in the state of Connecticut. They are not doing any Amazon Fresh. People keep asking about stews. The town has reached out to them and all. We've met with the landlords for that property, and it is the landlords that are holding up the possibility of stews or any other type of facility like that there. They're not sure if it's a right fit for their plaza, is what their representative told me. I did have a response for, yeah, well, I did have a nice response for him. I can't say it all on TV, but I did say to him that he doesn't have Clinton Crossings there, and, that didn't settle in much. And the woman who was the leasing agent there, they've now let go. Not her fault that there's nothing there. That the only thing in there that's really attracting people now, if you go by the Bulldog swimming, if you go, especially on the weekends, the swimming for teaching children to swim and all there, is you'll see that parking lot right in front of there packed. That they seem to be doing very well. Other than that, the stores that are in there, a few stores that are left are very struggling. But we have attempted to work at that. We have a selectman here who's going to try to reach out for another possibility. PJ had worked, and Mitch, we had worked on a different one for that facility. It's the landlords. It's Brixmor in New York. It's not anything to do with the town of Orange or anybody in the town of Orange. It's strictly Brixmor. You can look them up, Google them, and email their executives. Knock yourselves out.
What's going into Eli's?
Eli's is, thank you, PJ. It's going to be another Asian-type restaurant, and it's going to be one of those ones that's becoming the rage now, evidently, where they have, I'll call it conveyor-like dishes come along, and if you like that dish, you take that dish off the conveyor. It's,
Granddaughter's favorite.
really? Okay, so that's what it's supposed to be that's going into Eli's. And you have another, some sort of a hibachi grill place, a wooden tap is almost ready to open. Jack signed off for their liquor license last week, so that's that. We have another restaurant, I'll call it liquor establishment, in a plaza down the street that we had a problem with last week. The state people and all have been there trying to have discussions with the owners. That was on a Tuesday, and on a Thursday, we had a bad situation there. And that business, I don't know if it's a right fit for Orange. I'll leave it at that. But so that's where we are with all the things that are fit to print at the moment.
Jim, while we're talking about the Post Road, any word on any movement on the expansion of the fifth lane?
Have not heard a peep from the state, and I emailed them probably, I don't know, that was around mid-January. I emailed them asking if there were any updates as to when the timeline, when that would start, because they're supposed to be coming from Milford and Orange at the same time, from the Post direction and from Orange Center Road, or Racebrook Road, actually, towards Orange Center Road. No, no timeline yet to offer. They had nothing to offer me. Our zoning approved, or wetlands approved the other night, the work at Pine Tree and Peck Lane, which is the last culvert situation. So now they're all approved. I think they're going out to bid on that one shortly. That's a lot SIP program with government funding. Hopefully the funding hasn't been paused. And we can proceed with that one. And Glenbrook, Brookside should be getting going pretty soon. We had discussion with them about a potential redesign, but that's not happening now. So that one will proceed as well. And of course, Coachman Old Country is done. So that's where we are on all of those. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but that's All I have at the moment. Any other questions? Motion to adjourn. It looks like it's like 7:42.